Are you live?
Yes, we're live.
Hello. Hello. Hey guys. Wow, Sean,
Hey.
long time no see.
Hey, first of all, happy birthday to Felicia.
Thank
How
you.
does it feel turning
Thank you
like
so.
40? Sorry.
Oh my gosh. You mean turning 50, right? 50 is the new 40. It feels
Yeah.
good. I had such a good celebration, and thank you so much to all of you who wished me. Really, really appreciate it. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna post a notification that we are live, okay? Because I think
Sure, please.
Sometimes the StreamYard link has problems. So guys, can you help to post? We are live. Done.
Hey, so for those
Okay,
who are
okay.
hearing us, yep. Yeah, y'all can wish
I
happy
am
birthday
42.
to Felicia.
Don't believe Sean. I am not 40, guys. Seriously.
No,
Sean
no,
is 40, not me.
no, but don't look
Hello,
like it, is it?
hello. Huh?
Oh, no. I mean, I think Yi Hong means that he just
Thank
turned 40.
you.
Is it a he or she? He, right? She?
Ihang, my
Okay,
birthday also 5 days ago.
Yi Hong,
Oh,
sorry.
you must be a
Yeah.
great
So,
person. We share the
okay,
same
great.
birthday.
Hey, so
Good.
today is going to be very exciting because it's Felicia's birthday. We are going to actually got nothing to do with your birthday, but we're gonna talk about possible
It's
investment
okay.
opportunities, and we are going
Yes.
to each share a stock. So, guys, if you want to like really find out what opportunities you have, hey, by the way, I got this very interesting particular investment that I want to share with you guys, and really,
Interesting.
if you guys want to really find out this investment, we'll be sharing it right probably at the end after we analyze the situation. So do us a
Mm.
favor, help us click share on this particular video you are seeing right now so that more people can get into the chat because this investment is going to be very interesting, really very interesting. Okay, and you have
Well, now,
something interesting
now,
for us as well, right? Hmm?
now I'm very excited, Sean. Actually, I did more of a read up on the market, right? What's happening, and I wanted to share with you guys more on
Come.
the broader landscape, macroeconomics,
Wow.
and of course, where are the opportunity sectors? So I'm super excited because like Sean always has very interesting stock ideas. Yeah. Hey, hello. Okay, I see some familiar names. Good. Okay. So how shall we do this, Sean?
Okay, so what do you think about the market right now, or what key questions do you guys who are watching this have, and what do you guys think? So again, do help us click share so that more people can come in and we can really talk about this. Hey, by the way, let's see the target now collectively there's like 140 of you guys. Help us click
Yeah.
share, and when you hit what's the number you want? Since you're 40,
200.
well, okay,
Okay,
300 300.
170, okay? We hit
Why
170.
why
Huh?
170?
170 is just 20% more. I'm just thinking along the lines of percentage,
Okay,
investing.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's round you up to 300 lah. When you hit 300, we will share the first stock. Okay, this stock really very interesting one. Okay, by the way, so Felicia, share with us your take on the macroeconomic. Very interested to
Yeah.
hear what you have to say. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, guys. But before that, once again, okay, help to like and share this video so that more people can join us because the market is so. I mean, it's in such an exciting time right now. You guys can see, right? What happened few days. I mean, less than 1 week ago. Um, Less than 1 week ago, right? On the 14th of March, that was just this Monday, the Monday that just passed. The market hit its bottom, right? Its bottom in the past 2 years, right? I mean, apart from COVID, right? Apart from COVID, it hit nearly the bottom, minus 13% from all-time highs. So as I always like to do a pulse check, right? How are you guys doing? Are you feeling happy? You're smiling, everything is well for you, or are you crying, right? B, okay, if you're happy, type A. If you're crying, type B. If you're like anxious, I'm like, what's happening? Type C. And if you're sleeping very soundly like a baby, type D, right? Type D. Cool Tortoise say hi, Sean and Felicia. Hello, Cool Tortoise.
Cool tortoise. Cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
guys.
everybody's smiling.
What is that?
Wow,
Cry for Ukraine. Yeah.
we're going to talk about Ukraine in a moment's time. And again, guys, we're going to share our blunt and open perspective. We will not always be right, or certain things we say may not totally sit well with everybody. Let's keep this open, right, so that we can continue to like explore. We can yell at each other, no problem. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
yeah, I know. Yes, Xiong says, cause very long time never see Felicia. Yeah, it's been a
So
long
you're
time. I
happy
know,
because you
guys.
never see. He's happy because long time never see you lah. So you're heng like very long never come and nag me already, is it? Or you're happy now because finally you get
Oh
to see
my
Felicia.
God. Sean and his jokes. Seriously. Okay, very good. So I see many of you type what? A, happy, happy. Jian Chao says D, sleeping. Okay, guys. There is no shame in feeling B or C. You're flooding A and D. People who are feeling B and C don't dare to say anything. Okay, but I know Sean, as usual, is either A or D. Like Sean sleeps very peacefully regardless of the market condition. So he's going to share some of his wisdom with us. Okay. Now, I think one of the biggest things we know, right, that's happening, Russia and
Yeah.
Ukraine. And so how will this impact the stock market, in addition to all the various macroeconomic trends that have been happening, right? Now, Sean, maybe before
Yep.
I go into my teacher mode,
Yeah.
let us be a discussion, right? What are your
Yeah.
thoughts? And guys, feel free, okay, to share in the chat as well. What do you guys think? Okay, so firstly, do you guys think that the impact of this Russia-Ukraine situation is long term or short term on the US stock market? Okay, type LT or ST, long term or short term. Okay, and just type one or two either positive or negative factors that you think this situation has on the market. Okay, so you just type it in the chat, and then I'll let Sean just share with us his perspective first. So, oh, sorry, did I just kick you
Mhm.
out
Huh? You?
accidentally? Okay.
No, I'm still here.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys, good. So Sean, what do you think? Okay, so many of them are typing short term, right? Short term impact. Sean, maybe you can share with us first, before I go into all this like stats and all that. What are your thoughts on the current situation and the impact on the US stock market?
The key thing that I'm seeing right now is because of the sanctions, people are rescuing, like not really rescuing now, taking a certain stand in terms of who they are siding. So there's sanctions against Russia, and that creates a lot of issues. But at the same time, there's opportunity. Now
Yeah.
the thing that you need to take note of is like Russia is a pretty strong economy, and right now we also realize that they are very strong in terms of military power. They are no joke. By the way, I don't know whether you all read this, that in terms of nuclear warheads, they are the top. Alongside US, in terms of thousands of nuclear warhead. So whenever we talk about superpowers on Earth, right now, there's a linkage to military, because the more military power you have, regardless of whatever you can say lah, but in the end, right, it has been proven through history that if let's say you have very strong military power, you do have an advantage. Okay, so now we always thought that is US and China, correct? I don't know lah. That's the thing that we're always thinking about. Then we realized that what China has only a few hundred nuclear warheads, where else Russian has thousands of it. And there's so basically they are actually someone very very powerful, not a force to be reckoned with, and that makes a lot of other countries start to begin to waver a bit, because knowing that you are going up against such a strong person, right, you may not want to offend them too much. So doesn't matter, you don't want to appear to be a bad guy, you have all these sanctions, and it's causing a lot of issues to a lot of people. I mean, one biggest issue is the oil prices, correct? So for those who are driving, if you have been watching TikTok and stuff like that, there's a lot of jokes about petrol prices. Are you on TikTok? All the jokes there are super funny.
Yeah, no. Oh my gosh. Because I mean,
Uh,
some of you guys know that now I'm in the EU. I'll talk about that later, right?
yeah.
Um, Oil prices have significantly, more than doubled and
Uh,
tripled even. It's really crazy, guys. It's really, really crazy. Sean was talking about how Russia is quite a big economic power. No, sorry, a big economy, right? In the
yeah, it is. Yep.
global landscape. So can you guess, okay, in terms of the size of Russia's economy, how does it rank worldwide? You know, it is the what largest? Is it the first or second or third or 10th or 20th? Can you guess? Just make a guess. Sean, do you know? Do you want to make a guess?
I got no idea, man. Please
No
enlighten us,
idea?
Professor Felicia. Yeah.
Okay, guys, make a guess. Make a guess. Or someone says all changed to use bicycles. Okay, so actually, Russia is the 11th largest. Wow, Kelvin, you went to Google. Okay, 11th largest, right? But if it, I mean, given that it's the 11th largest, how does it compare with the US, right? Let's say, because we're talking about its impact on the US economy. So how is it in comparison with the size of the US economy or even China's economy? It is? Why not, Sean, take a guess? I think you have a good sensing of the US economy, right? Like the size of the US economy. Like maybe just putting Russia beside the US. Like what do you think is the relative size of Russia's economy against the US? Any guesses?
Russia versus US.
Yeah.
I
Guys, you
think
can take your pick.
probably 20 times lesser, something like that.
20
20
times.
times
Okay,
around there.
guys. Yeah. And then guys, take a guess.
No, but you're talking about GDP, is it? So it depends on what you're asking.
Yeah.
The amount of GDP that they are producing versus
Yes.
the impact that can create, it is, I think, a slightly different question. You see, this
Exactly.
is my opinion. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. No. Actually, you're spot on. You're spot on.
Oh,
So
is it?
in terms of yeah, so it is 1/20th. So what we're trying to say is that yes, the economy ranks the world's 11th, right? 11th largest, which is what Calvin is saying. But but then Sean, to your point as well, right? I mean, it can be the 11th largest and all that, but in terms of the impact, right? The impact of the economy on the globe, it's not very high. I mean, it's not very high just because I mean, just putting it in relation to US and China, they are only a fraction. Okay, but
Uh-huh.
in terms of the energy, so, I mean, in terms of its impact on energy wise, right?
Right.
Russia contributes to 10% of the world's energy, and
Right.
50% of this 10% is consumed in Europe. And therefore, in Europe, we are
Mm.
experiencing crazy, insane prices, in gas, in oil, diesel, whatever. And actually, I believe in the US as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and therefore, disruption. I mean, the disruption of all these exports and all that, they are causing this temporary rise. Sean, do you think that the impact could be longer term than what we expect?
I guess depends on how long they sanction this whole thing, right? Because
Mhm.
it cannot be something that they will straight away leave very quickly. Because unless you see, the war is happening right now, and there's certain things that Russia is demanding from
Yeah,
Ukraine, which is
yeah,
for them to actually like drop the idea of joining EU and also NATO. But all this can't be like it can't be resolved overnight. So it's going to take a bit of time. Now,
yeah.
that being said, right, I also understand that Russia not only impacts oil, I mean, in terms of energy, they also impacts neon and
Mm,
also nickel, which
mm,
affects quite a lot of huge sectors right now. Let's say talk about electric vehicles, or let's say even all those technology sectors, right? It affects a lot because like even neon is a shortage, and because of the sanction, you can't really trade with Russia that easily. There's
yeah,
the funny thing now. Okay, so on one side, this is my own opinion. On one side, on the political front, people need to
mm,
show that they are taking a stand. I mean, or some people they want to like swing here and there, correct? Or they try to actually try to make people perceive they are taking a stand. But whereas in the
mm,
economic front, right, I think people still wants the trade to go on. And even though they say all the sanctions and stuff like that, but in the business world, right, things are still going on. So let me share with you an observation that I have, because I was actually tracking the fund flows. I mean, you can track the institutional funds, correct? In fact,
yes,
right, for the past few weeks, uh, because the Moscow Stock Exchange went down a lot, I can tell you a lot of fund flowed into Russia. Now, this is something that's easily tracked, you see. So even for the Russia ETF and things like that, right,
mm,
billions of dollars are flowing inside. I mean, in case you all didn't know, what does this show? This shows that I don't know lah. Like I mean, on the front you say, oh, Russia is a evil country. You want to ban them, but a lot of people are taking opportunity to say, hey, I also know that
yeah,
they are strong enough to survive, and a lot of money is flowing inside. So
yeah,
morally, I'm not going to comment on that, but I'm telling you what's happening behind the scene. So I
yes,
believe that a lot of institutions and a lot of investors, they are also smart enough to know that this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity. So things are going to go down. It may go down further, but like most of our audience say, short term, correct? Short term. By the way, let's define short term together, because I realize time frame can be very different for everyone. So what do you think they mean when they say short term, Felicia? Like what is long term?
Guys, what do y'all mean when you say short term? So, okay, how I see short term, right? I mean, in respect to this, I think short term could be
Yeah.
about 8 to 12 months, 6 to 12 months, 6
Okay.
to 12
So less than
months.
1 year, less than 1 year.
Yeah, less than a year. How I see long term would be about, let's say 3 years. Longer term would be about 3 years, right?
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, Sean, and I know Sean is a super long term, like, thinker, and his perspective is always amazing. But Sean, share with us, right? When you think of short term, like in
Yeah.
terms of the impact of this situation and what's happening in the US economy, global economy, in your perspective, what is short term and what is long term?
Yeah. I want to
1
laugh.
week,
So
wow.
good say 1 week. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, short term is less than 3 years. Okay, I mean, but you talk about accounting terms, when we talk about short term asset and long like short term debt, long term debt is 1 year, correct? So the reason why I always tell you guys a trick, the truth is, like, why do I always look at things long term is because it is easier to be correct long term. And I like to be correct, I don't like to be wrong. So I like to think about things in long term. So within 1 year, frankly, no one can tell, because really no one can tell. Like what Rudy Henk, right, mentioned, Ukraine won't go down without a fight, and things are quite surprising. Like they have actually air superiority right now. So I mean, I also watched the news about how the war panned out. So a lot of things you can't really tell, but of course,
Yeah.
it is very painful. On hindsight, I wish that this war didn't happen. It's actually very sad, because a lot of people are like fleeing the country, and a lot of people are like getting killed and stuff like that. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But I mean, in terms of coming back to investing, correct? I really don't know, but it seems like Ukraine is going to put up a stubborn fight. Okay,
Yeah.
it's stubborn fight, and they seem to have the moral high ground, so they are getting a lot of support in different areas, but not
Yes.
not military directly. So I'm not too sure, but I do believe it's going to be like less than 1 year. This is my opinion.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and talking about opportunities, right? Oh, but anyway,
Yep.
before that, it's so interesting.
Uh-huh.
So because the Ukrainians are fleeing, I mean, they are taking refuge as well in neighboring European countries. So I myself actually witnessed a protest, like where I am right now. I've seen
Uh-huh.
some of the Ukrainians or even the local Europeans, joining in the protest against this whole war, and fighting for peace. And I witnessed a protest. Like I witnessed just yesterday on the roads. So it's
Guilty
really,
part.
I mean, it's an eye opener. Talking about opportunities, right?
Yeah.
And this is the point where, guys, can you help to like and share the video, because we're going to talk about
Oh, we hit
opportunities that
300.
are created by this war. I mean, this war is not a good thing, okay? This war is not a good thing. We're always fighting for peace. But, wei ji, right? The word wei
Yeah.
ji is like danger and opportunity. I mean, in every circumstance, whether we are in peace times or war times, there are always opportunities. All right, so before we go into the opportunities, guys, can you help to like and share, and if you have done it, can you type LNS in the chat, right? Because we want more people to join us, to learn about opportunities that are presently in the market, and especially for people who are really feeling very anxious about the market. And I know many are feeling like that because of the volatility. Okay, this is the place where they can find some sound, let's say guidance or sound sharing. Okay, so we're really doing this out of wanting to just guide all of us along, right? Guide you guys along. And hope that you can benefit from this. So help to like and share. Okay, very good. LNS. Great, great, great. Okay, now, talking about opportunities, look at this, huh? Now where we are right now, it's termed by economists as the golden age of cybersecurity. Okay, so what has happened is that in recent times, I think the past 2 weeks, right, the US actually passed a $1 8.5 trillion spending bill, of which half is locked for defense. And talking about military and all that, I know Sean, you have a lot more background and understanding of the military,
A bit
which
more.
I don't, right? So maybe later you can share. But talking about defense, there is also, in this digital age, defense is not
Right.
just physical defense, right? All your machineries and those of you who are invested in Lockheed Martin and stuff like that. But defense in its term itself, very, very central to the term defense itself is cyber defense and cyber
That's
security.
right.
Um, and what has happened is that, for example, Moscow, right? They have engaged in cyber attacks and they will continuously do so. They have also been vocal about it, right? And all this, they have basically not shied away from showing signs of, of cyber attacks. So I was looking into some of the companies like CrowdStrike, right? Even Norton, McAfee, and different cybersecurity companies. And I realized that, hey, this is really the golden opportunity for them. And if you guys don't have specific knowledge on any specific companies, then you can consider ETF, right?
Right.
How many of you know this ETF called CIBR? It's First Trust Nasdaq Cybersecurity ETF. And ETF, if you guys are new investors, an ETF is basically like it's a fund, right? It's a fund. It's a basket of stocks. And you basically buy into a basket of stocks. Just out of curiosity, right, Sean, do you
Yeah.
have CIBR in your portfolio?
I don't, but I think it's a very, very good ETF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
I
guys,
should.
yeah. So let me show you guys. If you all want to analyze ETFs, you guys can go to this website called ETF.com. Okay, ETF.com, and you can just key in whatever ETF you're interested in, whether is it the S&P 500, right, or QQQ, whatever it is. You guys can just type it in, and it will give you a whole download of the profile and the characteristic of what this ETF is.
I love
So,
this website. Oh, sorry. Are you going to talk more about
go ahead.
CIBR? No. So if you
Yeah,
scroll up a
go
little bit,
ahead.
right? If you scroll up a bit on the site, you can see tools and data.
Yeah.
Just below the search box, you can see
Yes.
screener. So you click on the screener, right? You can actually screen for all the cybersecurity ETF, and CIBR is actually, in my opinion, one of the best because of a few reasons. Okay, you can go to niche, scroll up slightly. Okay,
Yeah.
look at the niche. You can click on cybersecurity. So you can actually search for the particular specific. Okay, look at this one. If you can, are you able to zoom in,
Yeah.
or you are still not? Oh wow, okay. Well, your computer skills improve as you age. Okay,
Yeah.
so okay, these are the cybersecurity ETF that you all can look at, and it is very interesting. One thing that's very important is, like, when you look at the expense ratio, right? Try to go for those as low as possible.
Mm.
CIBR is not the cheapest, but I thought it's quite good because if you click on again fund flows, fund basics, right? You see on top the tab, yeah, you can see that CIBR is very, very consistent. So over the years, there's a lot of funds like pouring in. Because the reason for the fund pouring in is because the individual components, because ETF they hold individual stocks, correct? As the stock prices go up, the ETF need to rebalance it to actually make sure that it goes up. So if let's say there's any shortfall, right, institution need to actually pour funds in. So that's why this particular ETF has been doing very well as compared to the rest. You can see the rest, they are not as consistent. There are a few here and there, like BUG, BUG, right? It's not bad.
Mm.
Then finally, if you go to fundamentals, I think CIBR should be one of the few that is actually profitable by looking at PE ratio. Most of them,
Exactly.
the PE ratio is negative, meaning to say they are losing money. So,
Exactly.
in my opinion, good stuff. Good stuff. Right.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Sean. Yeah. So, I did have a question on this, and whatever you just went through, it's super helpful, guys. I hope that you are learning something. Okay. So back to this CIBR, right?
Right.
Oops. Okay, so how do you, first and foremost, how do you understand what's in this ETF, right? What's in this basket of ETF? You go to FIT, okay? So ETF.com, CIBR, right? You go to FIT, and FIT is where you start to see what's the breakdown, the composition of this basket of stocks. So you can see the top composition, about 6.6% is Cisco. followed by Palo Alto, followed by Accenture, and CrowdStrike, blah, 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 right? All these different holdings. And if you were to see, I mean, if you're curious on how, right, if you're curious on how this has been performing, you can also see, you can go to total returns chart. You can see that CIBR in the past 3 years has returned about 21.5%, past 5 years, 18.5%, which personally to me, I feel that it's a very strong, it's a strong performing ETF, right? Sean, talking
Yeah,
about expense ratio, right? Expense ratio. We
yeah.
know it's not the cheapest, but what is your threshold for an expense ratio to be too high? I mean, to be considered very high.
Actually, I mean, if it's more than 1%, it's terrible for ETF. So,
Mm,
yeah, I've seen ETF with more than 1%. That's very high. But it is actually a lot of things is relative, you see. So, if you are buying a cybersecurity ETF, of course, ceteris paribus, meaning you say like all things equal, if the expense
yeah.
ratio is double of the other one, correct? You are
Mm,
basically like paying double the I would say expense to manage have this ETF managed. So preferably my preference is less than 0.5. But this is
mm,
0.6, which is okay lah. Pay a bit of it for the premium. I think it's okay.
mm, mm. And so what
Eh,
you're saying, and how do people calculate, right? Oh,
yeah.
it's funny that Accenture is top 10 of the ETF. It's not even a cybersecurity company. Uh
Actually, it's pretty big in cybersecurity, if I'm not wrong. They actually do consult and help companies set up cybersecurity. If I'm not wrong, I'm not familiar. Actually, you should become familiar with this, right? Are you?
yes. I do have some history. um, so Accenture is a conglomerate, right? It's into
Yeah,
almost any aspect digital, okay, from cloud to blockchain, to blah blah blah. Cybersecurity is one of it. It's one of it. Um, so
they
yeah,
got
I
this
mean,
cyber fusion centers or something like that. I mean, I'm just reading
yeah,
the
yeah.
website now.
There are many test
Right.
centers. There are many like laboratories. It has a software. It works very closely with partners. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
But
They everything
anyway,
also have, man. I was looking at their
yeah,
website.
everything.
They even have
Yeah,
metaverse. They have everything.
yeah. They
Yeah,
have everything. They have everything. They
yeah,
are literally everything digital. Um, and then Sean, I also did want to get your perspective, right? Because
yeah,
I mean, in our past conversations before, and we know, right, as value investors, we look at PE ratio, we also look at PB ratio,
correct.
both of which are very relevant, right, to valuation of
Yep,
stocks. But when it comes to ETF, very
yeah,
interestingly, when we look at where is it? Yeah, here, right? When we look at ETFs like CIBR,
yep,
the PE ratio is very high. It's at 80, right? Guys, it means that you're paying 80 times forward into the future. That means that this whole basket of stocks, if these stocks in this basket are making what it is today in terms of its earnings, you are paying 80 years into the future, okay? 80 times. Um, and Sean, I know that you have shared with the audience before that PE ratio, typically 15 is okay, 20 is a bit high, 30 is quite high, but it depends on what type of stocks you're in, right? If it's growth
yeah. Depends on the
stocks, then of
growth
course
as
it's
well.
higher.
Yeah,
You did
that's
look
right.
at PB ratio. So then later you came to a conclusion about, PB ratio being more, let's say, more accurate, right, in terms of valuation. Can you
If
just
you
share
have the
your
data of average, if you have the data of the 5 years average, unfortunately for ETFs, it's a bit hard to find.
Mm,
The closest you can find is actually okay. In this particular website called Y Chart, but even then, I think they already take away the data. Now, so for ETF, right, it is really you have to sort of like sacrifice. You have to sacrifice the accuracy of it. So for
mm,
ETF, right, it is very hard to pinpoint the valuation because literally are evaluating the whole sector. So it's based on
mm.
opportunity. When the sector is down, you just buy for the long term. That's the only thing that I can see myself doing. Okay, so you can't value an ETF. Not that easy.
Okay, okay. So what
Uh-huh.
you're saying is that okay, because Junki is asking how do we buy
Yeah,
CIBR? Junki, how you buy CIBR? Whatever your brokerage is, it's just like how you buy into any other stock, right? It's the same thing. But if your question is what is the strategy for ETF, right? Then then Sean, what you're saying is to DCA, to dollar cost average in, and especially when the sector is down, and if it's a sector that you are believing strongly in, if the sector has as a hit, then you add to your positions, right? Yeah, any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Okay, good. So Sean, now what
Yeah.
is that? Moving on to your wait, let me just stop share my screen. How do I do that? Okay, stop sharing. Yeah. Okay, guys. So that is one of the opportunities that I'm seeing in the market right now. The US has pumped in a lot of money for security and cybersecurity. Yeah, and we know that Russia is not going to back down in terms of its threat, on cyber attacks. So this is really, I mean, and apart from what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, of course, being very opportunistic in this area, but apart from that, we know that cybersecurity crimes have been on a rise, especially the past few years. More people are getting online, right? You all just look at you all look at the digital native global population. It's just increasing time and time again. So apart from Russia, Ukraine, even if Russia, Ukraine doesn't happen, cybersecurity is really a booming industry. Okay, so look into that. Now, I'm going to let Sean, blow us away with his super interesting stock. But before that, okay, if you guys have learned something, can you all type learned in the chat? And also, there's a scroller at the bottom, okay? Myself and Sean, we do updates frequently, business updates, investing updates. For me, I'm more active on my Telegram, so you guys can follow me on my Telegram. You guys can follow Sean on his Facebook page. Sean, are you on Telegram? You're not on Telegram, right?
No, I don't have a Telegram group.
Okay, you do have a Telegram group. Yeah, so you can follow Sean on his Facebook page. I also have a Facebook page just at the scroller. Okay, so if you guys want to keep updated on market happenings, on business investing updates, on stock dissect and all that, you guys can follow us. And then now it's time for Sean to blow us away with his.
Okay. I won't say blow you guys away lah.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, usually the strategy that I come up with is the one that is the, in my opinion, the simplest and the one that I think is very hard to lose money on. Okay, so if you guys love that, please stay tuned. It's coming. Okay, so a few questions before we go on. So I think Ao is actually, is it Aung? Okay, actually asking about average historical P and things like that. If you have a certain benchmark, it's good, but it's very hard to find for ETF. There's very few sites that actually do that unless you actually pay for certain sites. Okay, so again, if you believe in a certain sector, you don't know what to buy, but believe that it's going to be huge, right? You can just park a certain amount of money into ETF. So, for example, cybersecurity, green energy, all these to pick individual stocks, in my opinion, is a bit hard because it's early in the game and you don't know who will win. So you can go into that. Later, we can talk about Metaverse also, because that's where you can actually invest into Metaverse by invest into the Metaverse ETF as well. There's a Metaverse ETF. And by the way, if you all don't know what's Metaverse, means you all are as old as Felicia, okay? I'm just kidding. Okay. Yeah, I think it's important to understand.
Okay, now from now on we count backwards.
Also 79, 79, 78. Okay, sure.
I got 18 years to count backwards to go to zero.
Okay lah. I didn't know your math so bad. Okay, so I want to share with you guys, right, that ETF is actually buying the whole sector. If you don't know what to buy, valuation very difficult because typically the kind of ETFs that is the reason why we are not able to buy certain individual stocks, right, is because that sector is typically booming. It is very new. The P ratio is haywire. They don't even have PE because they are not making money yet. Okay, so this is the thing. Now, so all that aside, let me share with you a very simple way to make money. In my opinion, hey guys, all the disclaimer, please do your own homework. If you all agree, please type DYODD. Do your own due diligence. DYODD. Please help me type that when I see you guys type that. And also, please help us share. I'm going to share with you this brainless way of making money. Okay, that's what I like. Okay. Okay. Nice. DYODD. Okay. So now let me share with you guys. Let me share my screen. It is very stupid this method. Okay.
I like stupid. Keeping it simple, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
When I say already, I also feel a bit embarrassed to tell you guys this method.
Why?
Now I always go back to taking reference from Warren Buffett. People don't like this, but Monish Prabhai, there's quite a lot of huge fund managers who are the top in their countries, right? They like to take reference from what he does because with years of experience, he has seen so many things. The chance of him being right is a lot higher. Okay, so now let me share with you. There's this particular stock that caught my attention, and there's a certain reason for that. And this stock is drum roll. It is this particular. Okay, Cheng. Okay, this stock called New Holding, NU. So this New Holding, right? What really caught my attention, right, is a few things. It is because I also read an article that says besides Warren Buffett buying this stock, right? If you look at New Holdings, the institutional ownership, right? Warren Buffett is not the first. Okay, it's not the top. Like Chase Coleman and quite a few number of the very strong investors, right? And they bought this particular stock because they are very focused in tech. Warren Buffett is very focused in value, correct? They are focused in growth and tech. And the most exciting thing is, right, even Katie Wood, right, also invest into this, So it is like a once in a lifetime opportunity where you see people with different strategies all buying into this particular company. It
This
is
is so
very
interesting.
abnormal. Yeah, it's very abnormal. So for Katie Wood, she likes those disruptive companies, correct? So let me explain to you what is this New Holding. Okay, it just IPO in December. So it is also very abnormal for Buffett to invest in this kind of company. Very likely, maybe he's not the one who buy. It is his right hand man, left hand man. Okay, the thing is this particular company is a neobank. Okay, what's a neobank? A neobank is a bank that doesn't have a physical banking branch. Okay, so if you are in a certain country, you have your banks, right? You can literally walk into the bank and ask them to do banking. A very close idea to a neobank is like PayPal. You think about it. You cannot walk into a PayPal branch and ask them to update your bank balance, right? But you can check everything online. Now, so this particular company, right, it is one of the fastest growing or the biggest neobank that doesn't have a branch in Latin America. And in Latin America, right, as I read out more, because I was very interested in this company, I read out more. The interesting thing is this: in Latin America, only people who are slightly wealthier, they have banking privileges. So people who are like more normal people and stuff like that, right? It is a little bit harder to they're underbanked, underserved, they call it. So this neo bank, right, start to actually serve all the normal people. I mean common people like like no lah. All of us here are not common. Otherwise you won't be on this particular chat, right? Okay, so no, we are
I
all
knew you
common.
were gonna say something. I was just waiting. You were gonna pop some,
I don't know how to get out of this. It sounds like whatever I say is going to be wrong. Okay, but this particular company is growing very very fast. I was actually reading all their revenue growth and things like that. Obviously, right now, if you look at the P ratio and stuff like that, it's not going to be looking very good. Reason being, right, the price. I mean, they just got IPO, so based on their previous pre-IPO earnings, right, they are a lot smaller. But with IPO as a bank, meaning to say more money goes in, they have a lot more reserve, and with more reserve, they have the ability to actually run their banking business a lot bigger. Now, so far so good. Now, frankly, I won't say I know a lot about this now, but let me show you something that I find very exciting. So this New Holding, right, this particular company, you can see that Warren bought it at an average price. Look at this, average price of $9.80, about $10. Okay, so and I think I choose to believe that very likely he has certain advantages on. Okay, probably he has some arrangement with them to give special dividends and stuff like that. But right now you can see the price is $7.86, so it already went down by 19%. You can beat Warren by 19%, but not that's not all, because let me share with you what I'm going to ask you guys to do. Okay, I shouldn't ask you guys to do. Okay, what I'm going to do. You can see if I go. You're still able to see, right, Felicia? Right? You can click on this NU New Holdings. Then what you do, right, is you sell a $6 put lah. It's like so far away from what Warren Buffett paid for. Warren Buffett almost paid $10 there. So now, if you actually offer to buy the stocks at $6, you can actually get almost a 2% premium. And in my opinion, that's my opinion now. I think it's very very safe. Okay, so So this is my stock idea. This like very very brainless, right? So you can see, let's say you don't do like month by month. You do like 2 months. 2 months is 61 days. You go and sell a put. Okay, sell a 30 put, right? You just need $600 only. So this particular trade, you just need 600. You get back $30. Let me check the ROI.
Yeah.
So if we have $30 divided by 600, how much is that? So we get 5% for 2 months, which I thought is a very like strong trade. Okay, obviously if you don't understand this company, which I want to say that I don't fully understand, but I'm reading a lot more. I see a huge opportunity. How often do you get to buy like so way below Warren Buffett and still can get 5% in 2 months? This is my very simple idea. So what do you think, Felicia?
Interesting. No, I think um you know, digital banking and the underserved population, it's a real issue, right? And I think the
Yep.
opportunity is there. Um, what I'm a little bit more hesitant, right, Sean? And let me know your thoughts
Sure,
as
sure, sure,
well.
sure. Please, please.
So the thing
I love
is,
to hear like different views. That's what makes it so interesting. Yep.
Um, the thing is, in the past 2 years, especially
Yeah.
since COVID hit, there have been so many new companies that have gone IPO, that have IPO, right? So many new companies, um, uh, taking advantage of, retail investors or whatever, investors just like phew, right, throwing money into the stock market, and we have seen how the Russell, so the Russell, what do you call it? The Russell index, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, the
What
Russell
about it?
index that basically shows the valuation and the market cap of all these small um uh small stock holdings, be it new IPO stocks or this kind of like smaller less mature companies. They have all spiked. This Russell index have spiked over the past 2 years, and so much money has gone in.
Uh
But
huh.
what we have seen, in the recent volatility, or in the past, like let's say one over year, is that this Russell index has suffered a lot. I mean, new IPO companies, many of them have, spiked and then now just dropped back to IPO. I mean, IPO or even
Below
below
lah, below the price,
IPO
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pricing. There is a lot of pump and dump that's happening, right? People who are very nimble, who are very opportunistic, yes, they have made money, but we also know of many people who have burnt
Wait,
in the
I totally
market.
agree. Felicia, I totally
Yeah,
agree. I don't go into IPOs, but this one is exceptional because
yeah,
Warren is inside. So you must understand it. You must understand that it is an abnormality, and
yeah.
the reason why I say that, right. Let me
Mm,
explain to you the psychology of it. And okay,
mm,
there are few reasons why I think it is a good idea. Number one
yeah.
is the price is low enough for someone who, example, if you're a very new investor and you want to
Mm,
test out options, it is
mm,
only $600. Okay, I'm not asking you to invest 600,000, guys. So this is not something that you should be bulk of your holding. Warren
mm.
only invested. Okay, when I say only, please take it with a
Zero
relative of
point
how much.
three percent. Was it zero? How
He
many
only
percent was
invested
it?
$1 billion. Okay, so you must understand $1 billion.
It's a
He
drop
has
in the
about three
ocean
hundred.
for
He has
you.
about $300 billion to allocate lah. So, by the way, $1 billion is also not little. It's also not little. When
Mm,
he first
mm,
invested into Apple, right, he only invested 10 million, and he slowly invested in it. So this particular company is a little bit abnormal because Warren invested in it. You get it, So
yeah.
it's at six. I mean, when I say $6, it's because if you activate a put. Hey, by the way, guys, please do your own homework. I'm not asking you guys to really like follow me. This particular stock, the fundamentals is really post IPO. The
Mm,
huge danger is this: a company that can perform well before IPO, after the IPO, there's no guarantee they can perform better.
yeah.
Sometimes because of IPO, they perform worse. Like some people, they cannot take the
Yeah.
pressure of like having to answer to the public. Then suddenly, what, a lot of funds come in, they don't know how to deploy. There's
And they
risk
become
involved.
more short term. They become more short term thinking because they have to report
Possible.
their earnings to shareholders. Yeah.
Possible.
So guys, I've been in companies that are not public and companies that are public, and I can tell you that how they operate internally is super different. Super different.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I want to share with you guys. I'm not saying that this stock is sure win. Well, are there risks? Answer
Mm,
is yes. Now, I'm glad. I'm very glad that you guys should really like really like have questions and differing opinions. But again,
yeah.
what I'm saying is right. Now the thing is this, because based on what I see from Warren, he's
Mm,
slightly longer term than most of us. Does he make
yeah.
mistakes? Does he like also like sell stocks like they talk about airline, right? Does he sell? Answer is also yes. Now, the thing is this, the thing is, we all of us make mistakes. It's just that he makes lesser than us, correct? So the chance of him being
Mm,
correct is slightly higher. So I'm
mm,
talking about all, but based on probability. Then the thing is this. The next thing is this: if let's say the stock price goes even further down and you got a sign at $6, you must understand that you are buying it like almost 40% below Warren Buffett. what he invested in. And if let's say he still even he make mistakes, right? I also don't see the mistakes being so bad. You have a 40% buffer, and still can make 5% in 2 months. So that's my whole entire thesis for this. So guys, I don't claim to be an expert in this stock. It is just for your own reference. Okay, Ken?
Nice. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Sean, for always opening our perspective. I think very interesting. Very, very interesting.
One
Idea.
contract premium 100 need
What's this?
5,009. No, I think you may not understand the options very well yet. The stock is $6. 100 stocks is 600 ma. Right. So maybe probably maybe you calculated wrongly, Robin. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to home, don't come and blame me.
Yeah. Okay, guys, for those of you who are doing options, right? As you know, if you're selling puts, always have the capital. Can you all put FTR? Follow the rules. Okay. Please don't go and sell, and
Oh my
then
gosh.
not have the capital. It's so important.
Oh,
600 is
Grab.
not a lot of money, but it depends on what the size of your capital is in the first place. Okay. Um, good. Okay, so now
What?
battle of the ETF versus the stock, guys.
Oh, like that one.
Okay, who
Okay,
will
okay, okay, okay.
invest? Who will invest in CIBR, or who will invest in new, or who will invest in both? Okay, so if you invest in CIBR or in new or in both, type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. Is it better to buy new shares than do out of the money sell calls? What do you have to say to
Oh,
this?
I prefer to actually sell put because okay, again let me understand. Let me explain, Carson. Now this particular company is not something that I normally would invest a huge percentage in. Reason being like what are some of you mentioned. Some of you mentioned like it is probably losing money. There's negative net margins and things like that. So I'm aware of all this. I'm totally aware of all this. So it's not something that it's not like a stable stock in my portfolio. I rather sell a put that is out of the money to aim in case I really get a stock. I feel a lot safer. Like I'm buying it at $6. And I feel safe knowing the fact that Warren bought it at near $10. Then I say, okay lah. If you can hold at $10, why can't I hold at 6? So you must understand, I'm a weak person. Okay, I'm a weak investor and I understand my weakness. My weakness is if a particular stock that I don't have a lot of confidence in drop a lot, right? I mean, usually I don't even invest in these kind of stocks. But if a particular stock drops a lot, right? Where can I find the confidence to hold it? If I know, so I already foresee that this stock can drop to $3, maybe or any stock that I buy. So can Berkshire Hathaway BRK from is it 200 plus now? I don't check my stocks every day. From 200 plus, they drop to 100. How do I feel? Frankly, I don't feel anything. Like SPY, I also do the SPY long term call, right? They drop by 16%, 20%. I don't care. Okay, I literally don't feel anything, even if they drop by 50%. And I use options some more. So my options will not just drop by 50 or drop by a lot, maybe even near 90%. I don't feel a thing because I have a lot of confidence in it. Now, where do I? So you must understand, when you invest in something, what you are doing is you're placing your confidence in this vehicle. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
You believe that this vehicle will go up. How do you know this vehicle will go up? Either by your analysis, through your study, through track records. You must have a thesis of why this go up. And when we talk about OMI, we talk about like let's say having a certain checklist, check net margin, check earnings. Our thesis is if the earnings for the past 10 years is very stable, very likely the next 10 years is going to be stable. It's just a thesis, guys. There's no guarantee one. You all agree on that? So now my thesis for this particular company is very simple. My confidence come in Cathie Wood, Warren Buffett, and all these big gurus are investing in them. And because they're investing in them and I can buy a lot lower than them and still get premium, right? I have a lot of confidence. You must understand, this is where I derive my thesis and have the confidence. It is not, okay, you go and check all the P ratio and stuff like that, goes haywire one. Get it? Does it make sense? So I do hope I explained this well enough. Okay?
Good. Okay, yes, guys. End of the day, DYODD. Okay, DYODD. Do your own due diligence. This is us just sharing our perspective, broadening your horizon, so that you guys learn, new things. Okay, new things and new things. But at the end of the day, yeah. At the end of the day, it is your decision. All right. Uh, if you all have learned, type learned in the chat. In the remaining 10 minutes now, guys, I'm just going to share with you some market updates. And this is where, Sean's staple, bread and butter, will come in because, and Sean doesn't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'm sure that he will have some perspective on this. Going to talk about market updates, the broader market landscape, what's happening. So if you guys are learning, once again, help to like and share this video. And guys, the scroll is at the bottom. You guys can follow me, follow Sean on my Telegram, on our Facebook pages, for more business and investing updates. Okay, so we're going into the final 10 minutes. Let me just share my screen. Okay, now, there's so much chaos that's happening in the market, but I just want to tell you guys, and this is my regular updates, right? It's good. So what we saw last month or 2 months ago is that the job report was really, it was bleak, right? Because we were shocked of, I think, 200K jobs against expectation. But just last month in February, the report just came out. Okay, so there were 670 jobs created, more than 200K above expectations, and actually, okay, so we're 2 million jobs lower than pre-pandemic times. But in terms of ever since COVID happening till now, the unemployment rate has gone down significantly to 3.8%. Okay, this is only 0.3% higher than pre-pandemic times. So it's a good sign for us. A lot of jobs, many jobs have been reclaimed. In fact, more than 9 out of 10 jobs that were lost during the whole COVID pandemic have been recreated. All right, so that's a good sign. Also, those of you guys who have been following us, PMI basically it's a measure of the direction, okay, of the economic trends, because a lot of manufacturing industries, right? Majority part of the US economy are manufacturing industries. So typically PMI is a measure, is an indication of how well the economy is doing and will do, right? Because they manufacture according to forecast. And anything above 50% means that it's growing, it's expanding. And we can see, right, January, the last time when you guys saw my updates, January was lower, but then now in February, it has gone back up. So that's a good sign. We are expecting, more business, right? More business to be generated in the economy. And this is the part where Sean, I think it's very valuable to have your insights as well. Guys, you guys know that inflation, right? The inflation rates are crazy now. In the US, it's at its 40-year high, 7.5% inflation rate. This is more than triple of central bank's target of 2%, right? And you can see that consumer price index has fallen through the ground. Now, this 7.5% doesn't take into consideration, let's say, the spike in oil prices, energy prices, after the Russian-Ukraine war and all that. And also, wages are not catching up with this inflation, this inflation rate. So, Sean, maybe you can share with us, what is your perspective on inflation rate on the stock market, right? Does it mean that because retail, let's say, the regular person, right, now has less spending power, and therefore there is less, pot of money to put into investments? That's one. And also with the inflation rate and with borrowing rate increasing, let's say growth companies that depend a lot on borrowings for innovation, for growth, are now borrowing less, and therefore growth rates are also tapering, right? And that impacts the stock market. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so you must understand, inflation rate is basically it's an index, and the index is not equal one. You see, it will be very okay. I didn't read a lot into it yet, but do you know the breakdown of this? Because usually when we say 7.5%, or let's say even in Singapore we say 3%, 4%, you know that it is not everything 3 to 4%. Like sometimes certain things go flat, and certain areas of the market they go higher. So you must understand what this means. Now, there's this particular quote by Warren Buffett is saying that he likes company that has pricing power. Inflation is a outcome of pricing power. So when certain companies, right, they can price at a higher price, knowing that the customers still will pay them, that shows a lot of strength. So at 7.5%, I mean, frankly, you think about, let's say your Apple products is definitely not 7.5%. Then they have been really like I would say like flexing their muscles all along. They charge how much, you'll pay how much. So what I'm trying to say is like this inflation rate is a particular number, but you must understand there's a few things. Okay, so we talk about for investing wise, know which are the companies that is causing this inflation rate and look for opportunities in them. This is number one. Number two, right, is personal wise, right, you must understand your personal inflation rate. Some of our personal inflation rate, right, is higher than 7.5%. Because let's say you are crazy like a fan of Apple, then your inflation rate is a lot higher. Then if you like to eat at a luxury restaurant, your inflation rate definitely a lot higher. So you must that being said, if your inflation rate is higher, you also have an advantage. Okay, what do I mean by that? You realize, hey, how come my spending so high this year, right? It's typically you are consuming goods from companies that are charging you higher at a faster rate. That's where these are the places that if you cannot win them, you have to continue to pay them. Myself, you join them. You join them as in become a shareholder. So correct, makes sense, right? So these are the things that you should think of. So this is a very good mental exercise. Go and look at your credit card bills, compare across to the past few years, see where are the things, right? They sneakily add it, maybe Netflix, okay? They suddenly increase price, then you go and calculate, wow, it's not 7.5%, it's like 20%, then you realize, hey, this may be a good company to invest in. Okay, so
go ahead, sorry.
Okay, so when you talk about macro impact from inflation, right? There's a certain I would say in economics, there's a certain stickiness. Meaning to say things don't happen overnight. When we say inflation, it is a number that is calculated based on what happened in the past few months, you see. And it is an indication that company are raising price. I mean, due to certain reasons, maybe the cost of cost of material is more expensive, like oil, that's why it increases. But you say that it doesn't reflect oil prices, correct?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's actually sounds stupid, but actually if you must understand, if companies are charging more money, they are also making more. Okay, generally speaking, I mean, we don't straight away say that the demand will fall so quickly, because it doesn't fall overnight. Okay, people don't suddenly cut their spending. So this means that certain companies, right, it is just like interest rate increase, how come economy is getting better? So there is a lot of factors that affect the macroeconomy. But for inflation directly, right, when it increase, it affects purchasing power, definitely. But it also affects, right, I would say companies' revenue. When companies' revenue is higher, they are supposed to be able to employ more people and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But there's always a certain flip side to it. There's a rebalancing loop. When companies are able to charge higher, they earn more. But people are able to spend less. So if they are able to spend less, the company actually earn less. So it becomes a rebalancing loop.
Yes.
Okay, this one a little bit more complicated already. But don't read too much into it. In the end, guys, focus on, as investors, focus on companies that you know will not be affected by things that fluctuate. Okay, whether inflation rate high or low, this company will still have their own individual inflation rate. That's the best kind of company to invest in.
Spot on. Spot on. Because I did want to talk about just one last thing, which is opportunities, right? When there is high inflation. And Sean, you just hit the nail on the head. Guys, can you tell me, type in the chat, where are some of the opportunities with this inflation that's happening? Where do you think are some of the opportunities? What type of stocks, right? What type of stocks? Hey, how come people typing Facebook with our...
That's me.
Yes. You're typing. I know, Sean wanted to talk about Metaverse, right? Okay, so before we talk about Metaverse, guys...
Okay, I don't know a lot about Metaverse, but I think...
We should.
I think
talk about
FB should be quite a no-brainer to invest in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so a lot to talk about, right? But guys, just very, very quickly, okay? And y'all can go and read up more after this session. But basically, how stocks are classified, right? You are typically classified into value stocks, and you're typically classified into growth stocks. Growth stocks are the ones you need to borrow, borrow a lot, investing in the growth and innovation, and a lot of the pricing in growth stocks today are the future value. But value stocks, on the flip side, are companies that already are I mean, they're typically, more mature. They have steady but not spectacular growth rates, right? They have stable revenues. They have stable earnings. Some of them pay dividends. Okay, so now this is the time, especially in high inflation, where you want to be looking at some value stocks. And what are some value stocks? Can you all type it in the chat? One is here, BRKB. Okay, Sean and my favorite, Berkshire Hathaway. What are some value stocks that you can think of? Put it in the chat. Okay, just to give you some idea. Okay, it's like P&G, your Procter and Gamble, whatever, your daily goods. Okay, these are the things. So the consumer purchasing index stems from calculating cost of your food, your daily living, your rentals, and whatever your Okay, so P&G is your consumables, and the last one is, for example, J&J. Okay, so you guys can think of more stocks, put it into this basket. But after this session, you can go and read up more on value stocks. Okay, and these are where some of the opportunities are, especially with, let's say, with high inflation rate, right? Yes. So Sean, let's talk about Metaverse. Let's talk about Facebook. I know you really like Facebook as a stock. And you do have some thoughts on that. Can you share?
They're just too powerful already. Yeah, I mean they changed their name to Meta, you see. So this, you must understand that Facebook is really very powerful. They are considered like a nation of their own, you see. So you have like United Nations, you have like US and stuff like that. Now in the world, right, they are considering Facebook as a nation because of they have like billions of people using Facebook. So they have a lot of ability to create this metaverse thing. Okay, this metaverse, okay, I think I have advantage because I have 3 kids and they are already living in the metaverse. They are playing at Roblox, Minecraft. You know all this, right? You know Minecraft, right?
I know Minecraft.
Have you played in Minecraft?
Minecraft is not new.
It's
Oh,
not
sorry,
new.
I mixed it up with Warcraft.
Okay.
Oh, so, it's different.
you know what's the worst thing about, okay, the thing that I cannot fully comprehend and understand, right, is when I go and play Minecraft with my kids, right? I ask them this. I mean, they all play Minecraft. Oh yeah. So Microsoft, all these are you must think of Microsoft, Facebook, all those that are focusing a lot in metaverse, right? I can tell you there is a lot of opportunity. Okay, whether they will work out or not, I think there's a high chance because when I look at my kids, I know that they are very used to that. So when they go into Minecraft, they start to build things, they start to talk to friends and stuff like that. So they chat and chit chat with their friends on Minecraft, okay, and things like that. So I ask them, hey, how to play, how to win, Then they tell me, don't have win one, just walk around. They say, what do you mean? I mean, I cannot take it, It's like, how can you play a game without having an objective of winning? But do you understand what is education?
Sean wants to win one when he play a game.
No, when you play a computer game, no, seriously. Hey, Felicia, I ask you to go and play this game, but hey, don't have score one, we just play. Then play what? Just do whatever you want.
It's like The Sims. I used to love playing The Sims because I get transported into another world. I can build my own garden, build my own house, Like I can create food that I don't normally have in my real world. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you understand. Yeah, Sandbox, Roblox. Hey, so I can tell you guys, I think Facebook, they will have the highest chance to really like combine the metaverse. Now there are different metaverse. Now, so I want to share with you guys. There are a lot of things that I want to say I don't fully understand, but we should start to explore as normal human beings. I mean, we must grow, right? I'm not saying even as investors. So I'm not saying that we should start to actually anyhow go and invest, go and buy land in metaverse. Hey, by the way, you can buy land in metaverse. You can buy a piece of land in Singapore in metaverse.
My gosh.
And that the land price is almost the same price as the normal price in the real world. Because there's like limited land, in the metaverse. So it's really, I think it is at this stage it's still very speculative. Personally, I think it's still very speculative. If you got spare money, nothing to do, for the fun of it, you just buy a few hundred, a few thousand.
Sean a lot of spare money.
I mean, frankly, after you invest for a while, if you do have some spare cash, you can actually invest a bit. For the reason of this, once you invest, suddenly your brain work a lot harder to read out more. Before you invest, no skin in the game, you won't be that serious. So after that, I also tested out NFT and things like that. I begin to understand a lot more. So I begin to understand that this whole entire digital world that we are living in is very, very real. Okay, so I give you guys an example. Okay, I don't know whether you understand NFT, but do you understand Mona Lisa? You know the painting Mona Lisa?
Yes.
And you know that it's worth millions and millions, correct? I don't know how much it's worth. It's worth millions. and we can accept the fact now, right? I mean, now it's a commonly known fact. Oh, Mona Lisa is worth millions. Okay. Now, if I take a picture of Mona Lisa, I photocopy it and then I paste on my house, it is worth almost nothing. Correct? Why? Why is that so? Why is that so? Because the actual Mona Lisa, the original one, people know that it's original. They spend like get expert to actually certify that it's original, and that's why it's worth a lot. But actually, visually, what is the purpose of Mona Lisa? You must understand, the purpose of Mona Lisa is not for you to go and admire the beauty of the picture. It's not. Because if you want to admire the beauty of the picture, you go and download and then look at your computer also can. It is for you to show off. Understand or not? So
Social
LV,
status.
yeah, LV got this stupid chopstick that costs thousands of dollars. It doesn't pick your food faster. I think maybe even you can't even pick your food out on, or even the Rolex Gold Watch doesn't mean that it is more accurate. It is social status. Now, for Mona Lisa, example, that picture, how often can you show off? You can show off maybe once a year. You invite people to your house. By the way, I think Mona Lisa is in a museum lah. But I'm talking about those expensive painting. You can show off once a year when you invite people to your house. But now the idea of NFT is you can actually show off your particular art piece that people know that is worth a lot on your Instagram, on your Twitter, because Instagram and Twitter, they are certifying that your profile pic is a real actual NFT that is original, and people love this kind of things. So okay, I'm not saying that I agree to the idea of it. I don't think that we need to show off and things like that, but I can tell you that we should start to understand this, because a lot of people are going into this. Even Disney is going into this. Nike, Adidas is going into this. Behind NFT is not just a picture. Some of them, they also have functionality. They have utility. You can use it as a conference ticket and things like that. So, okay, the thing is this. I think the trend started probably 10 years, okay? I will encourage everybody to get into this, to understand. For me, just to get into this, I'm minting my own NFT. I should design some NFT. It's serious. I using some software can create 10,000 NFT using one click one. It's quite interesting. And I'm going to create it into a utility NFT. I'm going to figure things out and test it out. Because I think only when you test it out, then you can appreciate. It's about growing, guys. Again, I'm not saying that it's a value investing method things. So I do have certain areas of investing that is working for me. Okay, ready lah. Then you must grow, You must grow in other areas. But your bulk of the investing, don't suddenly 90% of my wealth suddenly go into NFT. If I do that, Felicia, you must come and hunt me down and then inject me and then put me into bed. It's like
Wash. Sean is like, throwing money. But guys, yes, talking about the whole metaverse, NFT. Sean, I did want to ask for your opinion, right? What do you think has led to such a sharp penalization of the Facebook stock price?
I think they missed earnings, right? If I'm not wrong, was it because of that? That's all.
As in there is, but I mean, given how promising its future is, right? What's your analysis on the market penalization? It's so sharp, it's crazy. We have not seen, right? I don't think we have seen.
We did. You remember about 1-2 years ago, we were doing about Facebook and like people say they want to stop using Facebook. You remember? We actually did a Facebook Live.
The boycott.
Starbucks, all the companies say we're going to boycott Facebook. Then what happened? Still come back, So okay, in my opinion, I mean I cannot really fully understand the market. If we can, then we are. They say that market is crazy psychotic, ma. If you can understand the crazy psychotic, means that you're also somewhere there already. So in my opinion, right, I am not really going to fully try to understand why they actually penalize Facebook and the price goes down. But I think a few things. Number one is probably the missed expectation. Number two is the lack of interest. Like a bit boring already, Facebook. Correct. Yeah. They don't see them like coming up with actual new things. Although now Mark Zuckerberg is coming out with all the Metaverse thing again, which I think it's gonna take some time. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I personally.
Sorry.
Yeah, reduce subscribers for the first time.
Users, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So much to talk about. We need to have a second session, right, guys?
Yeah. So
maybe the next time we talk a little bit more about crypto, NFT, right? The metaverse. I think, guys, there's so much that's happening.
We should invite the experts up. We should invite the experts up to share with us. I'm in a super learning mode. it is not those kind that I say, you go and sell that put, make 5%. That one I'm super confident. Okay, although some of you may disagree. Hey, we haven't do the voting, right?
What's
But
that?
never mind. The voting about
Vote.
your CI, huh? Vote already.
We did. CIBR and you are both, right?
Oh, so vote already, man. Then who win?
Yeah, we voted
Never
already.
mind lah.
Of course, I win.
Okay, you win now. Okay.
No, many of them actually type both. Many of them type invest in both. Some of them type only CIBR. Some of them only type new, right? So maybe we are tied, Sean.
It's okay lah. Then you win lah. Your birthday.
I don't need.
Okay.
It's okay. No, we are tied.
Hey,
Yeah.
so anyway, it's always nice chatting with you. How's the weather there?
The weather was initially really good. Spring is coming. But today is a bit cloudy. But other than that, spring is really coming. It's so exciting. Yeah. Next round. Next time you guys can travel to Europe and all that without leaving your seat of Singapore. Don't really know whether you will enjoy that, but yeah, man.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You can do that right now,
No,
actually. Yeah.
No. Okay. Good. Okay, guys. So I think let's conclude it here. It's been a while already since we started talking.
Wow,
Any
1 hour,
final words to say, Sean?
no final words. Okay, so continue to So guys, even as we actually share all these ideas, right? You must understand what is your core thesis for your investment. I want to share with you this. For Facebook Live, when we actually talk about all this investing, inevitably we want to make it interesting. So sometimes I'll talk about certain things that is maybe just 1% of my portfolio, and I'm testing. I put $500 into NFT and try. So please don't take it with the idea that wow, like we should all go and invest into this. And I want to say this, right, because certain stocks they are more interesting to talk about, and it's more if I talk about Berkshire Hathaway again, who will watch, the viewership will drop a lot, correct? So I want to share with you guys that from a perspective of someone who is doing like Facebook Live and social media posting, because we also want to gain followership. There's another component of my wealth is actually in business, and we like run courses, we have YouTube ads. But I also want to say this that because I do this and I know that it is compelling to do exciting stocks, so do other YouTubers and other streamers, you see. So when you listen to all
Except
this
for
on
Felicia,
internet,
do very boring stocks, man.
your stock always very exciting. Okay, so
CIBR, I give you ETF, bread and butter.
true. Actually, I like that.
Cannot go wrong. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to tell you guys is parting words is right. Really take what we say as a pinch of salt. Don't keep jumping here and there. Open your mind to explore. But in the end, right, if you are still very new, test things here and there, and then find out which is your core strategy. Don't just keep jumping. It is very tempting to try to follow the guru. Okay, I mean if you want to follow guru, my opinion is you go and check out Warren Buffett. That's my opinion. Other than that, other than that, even ourselves please don't treat us like as if we will not be wrong. Even Warren Buffett is wrong, right? Yep.
Yeah. No, I think that's very, very good. Yeah, guys. Okay, so always do your own due diligence. I think this is very exciting times. So many new opportunities, new ideas. We have only scraped the surface today. But if you guys are following me on my Telegram, I remind you all time and again, stick to the basics. Okay, the basics really work. What is the basics? Portfolio sizing. What is the basics if you're in stocks and options, right? Looking into the fundamentals of the company. Valuation is so important. Those of you, you hear me talk again and again, but I think the recent correction also shows us the value of that. Okay, so stick to the basics, and then like what Sean says, you can set a bit of money aside, to go and test and learn and be creative. Okay. So good. Okay, guys, have a happy 40th birthday, guys. Oh, not 50, man. Do I look like 40? I'm actually celebrating my 50, my golden, my jubilee years. Okay. Oh, 18.5 ever. Yes, 18.5 ever. Thank you so much, guys, for all your well wishes. And also want to thank Sean for coming on and sharing with us. Always so knowledgeable, and we always learn a lot from him as well. So before we go, once again, you want to follow myself and Sean. I'm on my Telegram, I'm on my Facebook. The scroll is running. Sean has his Facebook page. We do business and investing updates over there, and help to like and share this video so that more people can learn. Okay, so very good. So glad to see you all after 2 months. I think it's been a long time. And thank you so much, Sean, for joining us as well. And I just want to wish all of you a good evening, rest well, and have a good week ahead. Until the next time, okay? Take care. Bye.
Bye.